Hey, I think there's a person there. Hello. I'm just waiting for a few people to show up. Killing some time. I'm gonna try and multitask here. I'm all over the place tonight. Well, maybe nobody's going to join me, but that's all right. I need to get something up here. Hopefully, this sounds okay. I'm kind of experimenting here. This is a bit new for me. This is like my first ever time ever going live on YouTube. So, what I wanted to do was I wanted to give a shout out to some of the guys that have signed up over the last couple of weeks and subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much for the support. I really, really appreciate it. You know, just getting started. It's a lot of work getting the content out there and hopefully trying to make content that is engaging enough to keep you guys interested. If you've got ideas, things you might like to see demoed, or you got questions or things like that, feel free to leave that in the comment section. Let me know if there's any way I can do that. I'd be happy to do that for you. So some of the guys that I wound up chatting with last week included Mr. Mojo 1969. Thanks for signing up with the channel. I appreciate the support. Funny thing about him was he actually commented on the PV setup that I have behind me here. He's got the exact same setup with the PV Bandit on the bottom and the Envoy on the top. I thought that was pretty cool. So he's I guess back into jamming recently and picked up an Envoy much like I did, because it's just a simple little amp that you can grab and run to a rehearsal or something like that, and it's lightweight and easy to do that. So Mr. Mojo 1969, thanks for stopping by and having a little chat. I appreciate it. Another fellow was Patrick Robinson, also commented on the Envoy demo. There's a video. I'll post a link in the cards if I can to the demo that I did on that amplifier. Also another PV fan, and finally 74 Dartman. I think I got that right. He had built one of the solo music gear guitar kits. I did a video on that as well. I'll post a link here in the cards, and quite enjoyed it. It was telling me the story about how he'd finished it and painted it up and everything like that. And we're going to go to the Facebook page hopefully eventually and get some pictures of it there so we can share. So channel update wise, I've got a bunch of stuff kind of in the works that I want to get done. I'm going to start a new feature on the channel, hopefully at least every Friday is what I'd like to do. And I want to call that feature Friday Favorites. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to feature a modern blues guitarist or one of the guitar players that I really like in each one of those features. So I'll tell you a little bit about the guitar player, you know, kind of where they're from, a little bit about the discography, and I'll put a playlist together with a whole bunch of videos in there so you guys can dive in and you know, unless you're really on the interwebs a lot, you may or may not have heard of some of these guys. So that's how I've discovered a lot of the players that I listen to, is just by spending way too much time on YouTube. So I'll share that. So that'll be Friday favorites. So look for that. I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to get one done this week or not. It's a short week with the long weekend coming up, but I'm certainly going to try. I'm going to do a full review also on the Solo Music Gear TCK 15 kit, which is hopefully you can see it there behind me. I'm going to do the full and proper review on that in the coming weeks as well. I also have the SM57 review to do, as well as the comparison between that and the Sennheiser E609. So that's in the works. And then, kind of on the more exciting side, I have a friend that I've known for a number of years. He's actually owns Gilbert Guitars, and Jeff Gilbert is his name. I used to teach with him many, many years ago, and we've kind of started having some conversations about being able to go up there and record a whole bunch of gear demos using all the stuff he's got in the store. So I'm kind of hoping to get up to Gilbert's and get that done as well, because I think that'd be pretty cool. I can get my hands on some of the latest gear and get the demos done for you guys and get them out so I can get some comments and thoughts and feedback. So that's what's going on. Kind of right now, it's a bit of a short week for me because we've got a long weekend coming up. My little dude's trying to get through hockey tryouts and all that kind of fun stuff. So it's been kind of a wild week. Somebody's joining us on the channel here. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I was just giving a little bit of an update on some of the things I've got planned for the channel over the next little while, as well as some shout outs to some of the guys who took the time to subscribe and comment on some of the things I've been working on. So I certainly appreciate that. It's a lot of work to put all these things together, but it's kind of fun as well. So I'm noodling away on my 1977 Stratocaster here. And if you've been following the channel, it's obviously the channel's pretty new, but if you've been following it for a little while, I talk quite a bit about this guitar. This is one, actually, I want to do a full video on this, because when this guitar was given to me, I got the body and the neck, and they were, the body was completely, someone had stripped the finish off of it. I had no hardware or anything. So I actually refinished this in nitrocellulose lacquer, which was quite a process. I've got a lot of photos of that work as I was doing it, and then installed the hardware, and I've got Callahan bridge on this. This is actually kind of a for a Strat. It's interesting because it's a hardtail, so there's no tremolo on this, so that's a bit unique as well, which is really fine for me because I never really use it anyway. I haven't put the bar in my other Strat in God years. I probably should, but I haven't. So I kind of like that actually about the guitar. It's great. Stays in tune great. Not that I can remember to play that tune, but anyway. So yeah, it's a lot of fun to play around on this. Right now I'm using I got to look at the year of that thing. I think it's a 1963. That's a Trainer custom reverb. I could be wrong about the date on that thing, but it's old anyway. And that's an EL34 amplifier running through the 2-rock cabinet at the moment. And I've got a SM57 sitting there. So hopefully the sound quality you're getting in the feed isn't too horrendous. I'm not really sure what it sounds like on your end. I did a couple of tests just to kind of see. And it seemed like it was working all right. And this guitar has Seymour Duncan Texas Antiquities installed actually in the as for pickups. So these are kind of a vintage spec pickup. They have the old cloth wire, the clay bobbins. They're hand wound actually as well, and then they go through this goofy aging process, I guess, to try to simulate that sort of '60s Strat sound that a lot of us know and kind of love. The the body on this is ash and it weighs a ton. That's the one thing I don't like about this guitar is it's incredibly heavy. I would argue that it probably weighs as much as my Les Paul or maybe even more. I've never actually weighed it, but yeah, it's not light. That's for sure. It's one of the things I love about the solo music gear kit, the Telecaster kit. It's light as a feather. That thing, I haven't weighed it, but I mean, it's really really light, which I kind of enjoy. Yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with the channel. I don't know how long it's going to take to get some of these videos and things done. What I was hoping to kind of do format wise, which I've done with some of the other videos, is just write a really short tune. Um, two, three chords, something really simple, and then put the bass down, then put down a rhythm guitar part, and then some kind of a little filler part underneath it, and then just put a lead over it. And that way I can do the demos hopefully with a in a musical context. I don't know, folks do it different ways. A lot of people will play a progression or something, and then they'll switch pickups and play it again, and switch pickups and play it again. But I've never really been a big fan of those kind of demos, unless I guess I have the amp that the guy's using, and I'm looking at buying the same guitar with the same pickups and everything that that particular player is using. I've always kind of struggled with those demos because people approach the guitar differently. You know, um, they touch it differently, and they use different strings, and I don't think two guys are necessarily going to make the same guitar. They're going to have their own voice on the same guitar, I guess is what I'm sort of trying to say. So I've kind of always been more of a, does it sound good? Can you get a good sound out of it? And if you can, then you're going to take it and kind of get your own sound. So anyway, I don't want to ramble any longer, so I'm going to leave it at that. For those of you who popped by to say hello, thank you for doing so. I'm going to hopefully get some more of these videos and things up for you guys shortly. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content. You can also follow me on Instagram and also on Facebook. I'll put the links for those descriptions for those social media pages in the description as well below. So thanks again for watching, guys, and have a great day. Play on. Take care.